Welkom terug by ons. Voordat ons met Gideon Galloway van King Price Insurance gesels, verwelkom ons Mike Sharman in die ateljee. Mike het 12 jaar se ondervinding in digitale kommunikasie. Vandag praat hy oor sy tweede en nuutste besigheidboek Brandalism en hoe besighede soms handelsmerk-vandalisme moet toepas. Mike, welcome back and congratulations on the book. You talk about two interesting new methods of advertising, obviously anti-advertising and Brandalism. Talk me through that.
Thanks so much for having me. So Brandalism is effectively a movement that was started by UK and Scottish artists, where they started seeing all these billboards and all this messaging going out, especially from beauty companies, showing women that they had to be a certain state of perfection, and they weren't celebrating authenticity and imperfect perfection. And ultimately they put out messaging that you are good enough, you are beautiful in your own skin, and they were vandalizing outdoor billboard space and advertising because they really wanted to make a statement around what is enough in today's day and age. And I think we've all gone through the most over the last few years, and effectively that's what Brandalism is. It's an anti-advertising movement where we're saying people want to see mirrors of themselves. They want to see themselves portrayed on billboards, on bus stops, on TV, digital ads, and that's effectively thinking about bringing stories to life that more real people can resonate with.
It's kind of the opposite of what we've seen in the last, say, 4 or 5 years in social media marketing, obviously through influencer marketing. You talk about something, influencers. Why is that important?
Yeah, so for me, influencers are real people. They're not necessarily pushing product. They're not necessarily trying to sell us something under the guise of an organic post. And you know, a few years ago, we ran a campaign with my best friend where we helped him lose weight. He did a half Ironman, and ultimately he told the story of someone who'd never posted to Instagram and had never run a 5K, and that had a direct impact on Biogen's business at the time.
So talk us through some of the other topics in your book.
So some of the other topics are talking about personal relations, really talking to people that fit into your ecosystem. For you, whether you're a small business or a corporate, we're all looking at new ways to stretch our budgets further in this economy and looking at ways that we can take advantage of our opportunities to really emotionally connect with an audience and ultimately drive sales. Because now more than ever, the economy needs a lifeline, it needs a plaster, it needs more than that really.
So when you talk to any entrepreneur, their dream is that their brands go viral. Is there a certain recipe that you can say, well, yeah, that's the way to make your brand in this modern age actually go viral and resonate with consumers and buyers?
So for me, virality is really about tapping into topical conversations. We've seen with some of the best brands. We've seen your other guests today, King Price, they're doing a lot of work on that front. For me, we do a lot of work with Checkers 6060, tapping into Tinder Swindler, Creepy Crawly with my creepy teacher as the spoof of my octopus teacher. So how can your brand become a part of conversations and engage as opposed to interrupt or distract conversations?
So let's talk about a new form of consumer, so a younger generation. Do you think that's actually what's driving this whole thing around authenticity? And that's where entrepreneurs have to focus, to say, well, perfect, I've got a brand and let's focus on this younger consumer who's fundamentally different to what my current target market actually looks like.
Exactly that. And if you look at the platforms that they are kind of locating towards, it's the TikToks of the world, it's the Reels. And TikTok over lockdown was the fastest growing channel in Southern Africa. And the content there is not always overly produced. We worked with Checkers 6060 where they had their beautiful Let's Go 6060 campaign. And instead of Donovan Goliath creating an overly produced piece of content, I spoke to him from one dad of young girls to another. And we said, run out of nappies, my wife's not happy, let's go 6060. And that piece of content resonated, it was shared, there was a lot of spread, and ultimately it drove people back to wanting to use the platform that's going to get you nappies when you've run out in a terrible time.
Yeah. Let's talk about startups. So I've got a brand new business. Where have you seen most entrepreneurs actually go wrong when they have to kind of define the brand and really get it to resonate? What's your advice for those kind of entrepreneurs?
You know, for me, I'm anti-business plan because I believe that you should start and you can start figuring out what your pros and cons of your business are, because your business is never going to be used, your product or service, the way you intended it. You have to look at your customer. You have to interrogate why they chose this. Are they a friend and they feel sorry for you? Are they a friend of a friend? And ultimately, people talk about those 1,000 true fans. When you figure out that community that you've built, those initial people interested in your business, only then can you start looking at them to understand back to you as a mirror of what it is that they're actually using off the back of your business.
Mike, you brought your book. Where can we find it?
It's available at all good bookstores.
Yeah.
It's available at exclusive books on Loot. And for those of you streaming this from abroad, Amazon, that's your friend.
Great, Mike. Always fascinating to have you on the show. Thank you for your time. Indien jy enige vrae of insigte het, stuur gerus vir ons 'n e-pos by Winslyn by actual.tv. King Price Insurance sê hulle is die enigste versekeraar ter wêreld wat hulle kliënte se motorpremies maandeliks verlaag, soos wat die motor se waarde verminder. Gideon Galloway sê dit is die einste rede hoekom hierdie bekroonde King Price so bekend is. Ons neem 'n vinnige advertensiebreek en gesels net daarna verder.